Hey peeps, welcome to another video. Today it is my August sewn lookbook and pattern review. Yeah, kind of pattern review because I think I've made most of these things before. I have a pile of things next to me. This is coming to you very late in September because I don't know why I've not got around to filming this as yet, but there you go, one of those things. So without further ado, let's jump in with the first thing that I'm wearing, which is the Now and Then patterns from Till the Sun Goes Down, and it is their beach pajamas. Now I have made these before, I've done a sew along for these, and I have decided to go back in and make myself another pair. I have no idea why it's taken me so long to make this second pair because they are just awesome. I love them. They are so comfortable. They kind of give you shaping without being too tight because there is a tie detail at the back. I will be doing cutaways of what I'm wearing, and then I'll be leaving up a picture of me in it and the pattern picture as well, so that I can talk to you guys whilst you can see the full thing. And I'm going to stay in this for the rest of the video and just show you the rest of the twirls for this, because changing this many times again, it's absolutely baking up here, so it does not appeal. Anyway, beach pajamas. So yes, I have made, this is my second pair. I am in love with these things. I have changed the sizing that I went for initially. I really like how the first pair looked on me, but they were ever so slightly more blouson, I think that's the word, than this pair. And I like both looks, but this is, I think, a little bit more me. With this one, rather than adding length above the waist seam, I've only added it to the crotch depth, and it's perfect. But I do think that the waist is sitting in the wrong place on me, because at the moment it's kind of just at the bottom of my rib cage, and that's about an inch and a half above my natural waist. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to take the depth out of the crotch and I'm going to put it in above the waist, so that this V, this waist piece here, actually sits on my natural waist. That may not be what the pattern intends, but that's where I like my smallest point, my cinched in point, to be. So I'm going to give that a go. So I highly recommend this pattern. The construction method, the sew along, is completely valid for, and we'll walk you through French seaming, so everything on the inside is beautiful. When the lovely Andre, for the sew along, she gifted me the pattern and I got the fabric half price so that I could feature it in the sew along. And when I saw her at the show the next time, she was like, "You made it so difficult, you French seamed everything." And it's just like, that's just me. And you could totally pink or overlock or overcast the inside of this and not French seam at all. That's totally whichever. Again, as I've been saying all along, sewing is the pursuit of your own happiness, so whatever makes you happy, you do you. For me, it's French seams on the inside, so I will talk you through French seaming the entirety of the pattern if you want to follow along with the sew along. I am, as I say, going to just tweak it for the next version, and there will be a next version. I was trying to work out if I could winterize these, and I could. And I can definitely wear these around the house with like a jumper over it and fluffy socks. I mean, you know, I don't wear fluffy socks very often, but I have a large collection of fluffy socks and tend to film myself in them a lot of the time. I could definitely wear it like that, but it wouldn't be something that I would venture out of the house in the colder months, because whilst I do think you could winterize it, I don't think I would be successful. I don't think the fabrics that I'd want to make it in would work for that. So yeah, I can see myself making more of these for literal lounging around the house in the colder months, but come next summer there will be more of these, 100%. This fabric was from the textile centre. It was always intended to be these. I absolutely love this print. They did bring it out in another colourway and I didn't get any, and I am very upset with myself about that. Never mind, it'll be fine. Really love these beach pyjamas. Really happy with how they've come out. Wish I had made more sooner. Next we have the Butterick 5209, and again there is a sew along for this one. I love this dress. I can get it out of just about 3 meters of fabric and it suits me, it makes me happy, it's easy to wear. I always get compliments when I wear it. This is my second one. I have made a blue one which I've done a sew along for as well. I'm super happy with this. This fabric is from Indian Royal Treasures. It's a rayon. It's a really narrow rayon. It was 110 centimeters wide. This has been in my stash for the longest time and I'm pleased that I've got it made up because it is so bright, beautiful and cheery. I really like it. I had intended to make the McCall's, I hope I'm getting the number right, 7945 from this fabric, because this was that was another fabric that I was thinking would make a awesome floaty summer dress that still has some shape but is not as form-fitting as some of my other dresses for the very hot weather. And unfortunately I only had 5 meters of this, and for 110 centimeter wide fabric I needed 7 for that dress, and I wasn't going to compromise on the length of the 7945 because that's the maxiness of it is something that I particularly enjoy. So I had a little bit of a think and decided that the 5209 would be a good thing to make with this dress, and it turns out I was right. I'm really happy with it. I have, again, there is a sew along for this one which will be linked down below. I have just nipped in the waist by about an inch because my blue one is ever so slightly, not too big, but it's not quite as nipped in as I would like. And again, this is a summer dress, so I didn't want it to be super skin tight, and I don't intend to wear corsets or waist shapers or any of that kind of thing underneath this, but I did want to just make this one a little bit more fitted at the waist. There's still plenty of room in this one at the waist. Yeah, I'm glad that I did, and I really like this one. So this won't be the last 5209. There will definitely be more of these because it's really just very comfortable to wear and I'm very happy with it. Next we have the So La Di Da Sweetheart dress, and I have done a tutorial on this one of how to French seam princess seams, which is a tip that I learnt from the By Hand London blog. With this one I've made 3 of these dresses now. So I've made one with the elbow length sleeves from the pattern in a stretch cotton, and I don't wear that one very often because I don't know why I don't wear that one very often, because it's a really pretty dress. I've then made one in a rayon that I got from the textile centre with the bishop sleeves from the McCall 7537, which I absolutely love, although it did maybe this is why I don't wear my stretch cotton one very often, because I dropped the waist on this by 3/4 of an inch and it was still sitting at the bottom of my rib cage rather than my natural waist. Then the length of the skirt on the rayon one that I made earlier this year is just long enough for me, so I've actually lengthened this one by 2 inches. So overall I've added, and I'd already lengthened the skirt by 2 inches, so I've added 4 inches of length to the skirt, and I've added 1 3/4 inches of length to the torso, and I'm now really happy with the fit of this. It's still not super skin tight at the waist, but again, for the time of year that I'm going to want to wear this, much happier with that. The other thing that I have done, as you will have noticed, is I've put flutter sleeves on this, which are the original sleeves from this pattern, the 3/4 length or elbow length sleeves. I have slash and spread to make them into flutter sleeves, very much like the flutter sleeves on the Sew Over at Eve dress. That was the inspiration. I did think about just using the Sew Over at Eve flutter sleeves, but I decided that I was going to go for the originals and try and make them work, and I'm so pleased with this. The original dress with the longer sleeves wouldn't have been something that I would reach for in summer, so it was, I think that's another reason that I don't wear the stretch cotton one as often as well, because it's kind of an autumn dress. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm really pleased with this one because of the sleeves, because of the length, because of the way it fits me now, and I can get this out of just about 3.5 meters of fabric, which is awesome. So there will be many more of these in my future. I am thinking about, because this has a facing and I hate facings, you know I hate facings. I have done my little facing trick that Carol taught me or mentioned to me, which is to face my facing, so the insides of my facings are nicely finished. I just don't like how they sit, so I am considering doing a lining that comes just to the waist. There isn't a waist seam in this dress, so I don't know if that's going to work, because my idea is to kind of nicely finish the hem of the lining without adding any bulk, obviously, and then tack it in place at the seams, which in my head will work. And I don't necessarily want to fully line every single one of these dresses that I make, but I just really hate facings. I really hate facings. I am not a fan. But other than that, I love this dress. I've worn it a couple of times, really pleased with it. Very happy that I got this done. This was a wearable muslin test for the next fabric that I'm going to show you, but you guys, when I did my fabric haul and sewing plans for August, you guys were like, that dress or that fabric would look awesome as this dress. which is the Butterick 6554, which is what I ended up doing with this turquoise rayon that came all the way from Spain. The lovely Fanny very kindly went shopping for me, bought it for me and sent it over to me. I did pay for the fabric, but she very kindly did all the hard work for me. And I've had it in my stash for the longest time because I wanted this to be perfect, and I didn't want to make a mistake with this fabric because I knew I couldn't get any more of it, and it is very special to me. I had initially planned to do the sweetheart dress with this fabric because I thought it would look awesome, and it would. But I was going to do the 6554 with my stripy rayon fish fabric that I got from fabric.com, and you guys were just like, the turquoise would look awesome as that, and then the fish fabric would look awesome as a shirt dress, and that got my little brain working. So that's what we've ended up with. So we've got the 6554 ruffly wrap dress of dreams. I love this thing. There is a sew along for this one as well. The only change I've made is to omit the facing completely and finish the entire front edge with bias binding. Oh, and I mean, from the pattern doesn't have the ruffles on the sleeved version, it only has the ruffles on the strappy version. But I mean, I like the ruffles on this one because they balance out the ruffles on the hem, in my opinion, and just personal preference. Again, with this one I line the ruffles on the hem because that is, again, a personal preference, especially when the fabric hangs like this. You can see both sides of the ruffles, so I'd rather see fabric than the wrong side of the fabric because that would really stand out to me. And again, that's personal preference. If you don't mind seeing the wrong side of your fabric, or if the wrong side of your fabric is as beautiful as the outside, then single layer ruffles all the way. I'm really, really pleased with this. I love this dress. This is actually kind of was surprisingly hard to style because I was thinking there's more pink in this than there is, but there's definitely more red, and then there's kind of like a peachy beigey color. So I was thinking I could wear my hot pink sandals with this, and no I can't. I have to wear red or blue with this, which is fine. And I have those options. You can only see a small collection of my shoes there, but you guys know I have those options. Really pleased with this, really pleased with this. So happy. Next we have what I have christened, nearly got lipstick over it then, I have christened this my Alex and Hedge Hubby dress because they very kindly gave me the gift voucher for my birthday that allowed me to buy this fabric. This is the Amaryllis print on cotton lawn from Lady Mcelroy. I got it from Sherwood Fabrics, and as I say, they Alex and Hedge Hubby very kindly gave me a gift voucher so that I could do that. So I have the most beautiful 8577. I love this dress. I haven't worn it yet, and I think that was because I was waiting to show it off I've showed it off in the kind of the vlogs. Like, I've done the little sort of chatty bit to you from the shoe cupboard, but I don't know why I was waiting for this. I might wear this tomorrow actually, because we're going out for an adventure tomorrow. We're going to go and see the new house. Dad's going to see it for the first time. I hope he likes it. We are going to then walk from one town to the other town, and we're going to start at a cafe and we're going to finish at a pub for lunch. I might wear this tomorrow because why not? And if the weather's anything like it is today, it's going to be lovely. But yeah, this is an 8577. Again, there is, I think, this is so long for this. Yeah, I love the 8577. I've got another one to show you in a second. I've made 5 of them now, and there will be more. I had made an arbitrary 5 and move on rule to try and stop me making the same thing over and over again, 37 Anna bodices, but when I fall in love with a pattern this much, yeah, there are at least 2 more planned that I'm going to be talking. No, okay, so no, in my autumn winter sewing plans, which is going to be coming up next, I'm only going to be making one 8577 in 4 months, I think. We'll see. 8577 in the cotton Amaryllis cotton lawn from Lady Mcelroy via Sherwood's. I don't think they have any more of this. If they do, if I can find links to the fabrics, I will put them in the description bar down below, but I think the majority of it is no longer available, so I'm really sorry about that, but I love this dress. It's one of my favorites. So thank you very much to Alex and Hedge Hubby for treating me for my birthday. Very much appreciated. Then we have the Butterick 6380. I hope I'm getting that right. This is the Gertie dress. I had finished this dress in July, but I hadn't hemmed it, because the hem, it is a quarter circle skirt, but the hem had dropped at the side, so I needed to just make sure that it had finished dropping before I could sew on the bias binding to finish off the hem on this dress. Initially I had put on the original sleeves from the pattern, and they are tight. They were too tight, to the point where I couldn't get the dress done up because I couldn't lift my arms even. It's just wrong. So I took those sleeves off. I had enough fabric left. I recut the sleeves from the McCall 7537. I love those sleeves. Yeah, bishop sleeves. And again, when you watch my autumn and winter sewing plans coming up next, there are a lot of these types of sleeves involved in that. I really like how this dress looks on me, actually. I was quite surprised by how much I like the skirt. I was thinking that it'll be nice, but I'll prefer a fuller skirt. I really like this. Again, genuinely surprised by how much I like this. This dress took very little amounts of fabric as well, which is great, and it also has, which you can't really see in this print, which was from the textile centre, and I think one of the large supermarkets have made outfit, it's either Tesco's or Asda, have used it in their clothing line, and obviously they ordered too much, so some of it got sent out to be resold as fabric, and very glad that they did, because I love this. It has a V like midriff panel here, then gathers into these little doodads here, which kind of hold the ruching detail of the upper bodice in place. Now, I've seen loads of these types of dresses from House of Foxy, Pinup Girl, those kind of places, and they are awesome. They've got slightly different tops, but what they have done is they've used a print for the sleeves and the upper bodice, and then the midriff and the skirt are solid. And I have got some 1 meter cuts of rayon in my stash that I've been trying to work out what I want to do with. Like, to begin with, it was like Hunter Tank, but now I've decided I like the Hunter Tank lined and I haven't got enough fabric for that, so I was like, I don't know what to do with them. And it's going to be this dress, because I can cut out the sleeves, the upper bodice, the top, there's a panel at the back as well, the midriff panel at the back, so the upper back bodice, and then the rest of it can be solid. So I've got a couple of beautiful prints that are going to look amazing. They are more summery, and again, I am going to go in with the original sleeves, and I'm going to slash and spread, and I'm going to do it with the originals because the original sleeves also have a lot of poof at the top, and I think that's going to look really interesting with the gathers at the top and then the fullness at the bottom of a flutter sleeve, like I did with the Sweetheart dress. So I'm going to experiment. Maybe not with the really precious precious to me fabric, but I will experiment because I love the main body of this dress, but with these sleeves on it, really liking this, and this is going to work really well for winter, I keep saying winter, my autumn and winter sewing plans. I've got large portions of fabric, printed fabric, and for once I have included a huge selection of plain fabric, and there are going to be some dresses that I make out of prints that I'm going to end up with like a meter left over, so I can see myself using this pattern with solids at the bottom to make myself some other dresses that will then coordinate in with the rest of the things I'm going to be making. So really pleased that I finally got around to this. This again was a wearable muslin because I have some navy pansy print crepe that I am super precious about, and I want to make this dress with that print, and I was thinking that again I was going to want to put a fuller skirt on it, but I have a feeling that I'm going to end up with this skirt on that pansy print dress, and that pansy print is one of my make 9 fabrics, so it needs to get made up. Yeah, none of these are make 9 fabrics. Oh, you know, that's a lie. This next one, haha, this next one is a make 9 fabric. It is my Liberty Carline in the blue colorway, cotton lawn. This was £22.50 per metre, and I have 5 metres because the 8577, which is what this is a fabric hungry beast. I knew that going in. I knew that that's what I wanted to make with this print. You know, fully aware that this was going to be an expensive dress, but I am so glad that I stuck to my guns and made it because I love it. It's like 8577 is my favourite. I have got, for both of these, I've got enough fabric to get a belt made by Harlequin, which I am going to do. My Harlequin belt bill is going to be huge because I plan on getting a belt made for pretty much every one of my autumn and winter sewing plans. because again, mixing and matching, and I'm going to be making lots of plain skirts, and I'm thinking a shirt with the plain skirt but with a belt in the same fabric as the shirt is going to look really cool. I've seen that before and I really like it. So yeah, my Harlequin belt bill will be big, but I think it will be worth it. Before any of you guys say I should make my own, getting hold of covered belt buckle kits in the UK is nigh on impossible. They have to come from America, and by the time that I have paid for them, the shipping and the import fees, it ends up really, really expensive. So I might as well just get Harlequin to make them, and they do it so well, and they're not overly expensive. They're about £20, 20 to £24 for the belt, depending on the thickness that you want. They are so high quality, so high quality that I'm happy with that. It's another 8577. As I've said, it's not going to be my last. I love this. Haven't worn it yet. It's going to be a toss-up between this and the Amaryllis one tomorrow. I love this. And Make 9 fabric made up. So I'm just about to cut into another one. I think that's 2 I've used. That's not good, is it? Okay, so my kind of theme for this month was turquoise and red with a bit of royal blue thrown in there. So I had this red denim, which I believe was from Empress Mills. It's kind of got a little bit of a slub on it. It is also got 2% stretch in it. I have made another one of the Vogue 9347. I hope I have that number right, but if not, the picture of the pattern will be up here. I've used the skirt portion of that to make myself another skirt, because I made it in dark denim before and I absolutely love it. This one I have done slightly differently. I have taken the zip up to the bottom of the waistband, and then I have done an overlap with a hook and bar. I'm actually going to change that around. I need to unpick those, and I'm going to do it so that the overlap goes underneath, and I'm going to have to obviously take off the hook and bar and re-sew those to do that, but I think that's going to look slightly less bulky at the back. When I was putting these on, I did not think, and I'm glad that, because I was going to add more snaps to this as well to make it really secure, and I'm really glad that I didn't, because I didn't think that all the way through. So this zip is a lot happier than the zip in my dark denim one. The zip in my dark denim one goes all the way up to the waistband, which personally is my preference, but I have found when you're using invisible zips with thicker fabrics that then go through an intersection like a seam with lots of layers underneath it, even if the zip is invisible, it still ends up kind of pulling apart and you can see the zip, and that's what's happening with my denim one, to the point where I'm thinking about taking off the waistband and putting a new waistband on with this overlap on it. Like I say, it's my preference to take the zip the whole way up, just because I think it looks sleeker, but it then kind of looks worse as time goes on. So maybe, yeah. And I have enough of the dark denim to recut the waistband and put that on. I've lined the pockets and the waistband of this one with some Michael Miller Fairy Frost quilting cotton, because it's bright red and sparkly, and it just adds a little bit of interest and less bulk in the 2 areas where you don't want loads of bulk. Fully finished everything with bias binding on the inside and the hem. Very pleased with this. I have worn this a lot. Once I finished this hunter tank. So as you will notice, this is the same fabric as the 5209. I had enough to cut the dress and this hunter tank out of 110 centimeter wide fabric, which I was pleased about. And I probably actually have enough left to do the top of a 6380 with it as well, which I am not ruling out because I love this print. I made my red denim skirt and then realized that other than my plain t-shirts, I don't have any tops that go with it, and I was like, what am I gonna, I want to wear it, what am I going to wear this with? So yeah, hunter tank. So that was a happy accident that this fabric wasn't wide enough for the original pattern that I had planned with it. I have done a sew along for how to fully line the hunter tank, which will be linked in the description down below. That's my personal preference. Again, is just so that I don't have to do a narrow hem on pointy pieces like this in a slippery fabric like rayon, because I did that in the past and absolutely hated the process. So I'm really happy with how this has turned out. I really like the hunter tank. This is the 3rd one that I've made. Is that true? No. Yes, no, this is the 4th one I've made. So I've made 3 out of a fabric, you know, fabrics like this that are lined in the same fabric, and then I've made 1 reversible one as well. So very pleased with this, glad that I made it. It looks really good with the skirt. I like that outfit a lot. And And then the last thing I have to show you is the first thing that I made this month. This is the Gertie lined denim jacket with Butterick patterns. I have lined it with this cotton silk blend from Spoonflower. They don't do this type of fabric anymore, but the print is available, and it's a close-up of an abalone shell. I've then lined the sleeves, which the pattern doesn't ask for you to do, but I prefer lined sleeves because I find it easier to get on and off. I've lined those with some Bremer silk that I got from McCulloch & Wallace, which I will link in the description down below. I am really pleased with how this came out. I did go by the pattern instructions and go for a size, I think 14 and down to a 10 or a 12 at the waist, and I can't do this up, and I probably should have just kept it at the same size as my bust the whole way down and gone for a slightly more oversized look. But this is also not the type of coat that I would ever want to wear done up. It's just, that's not how I ever see a denim jacket in my head. And again, that's just personal preference and how I style these kind of things. I really like how this went together. I like the yoke detailing at the back. It's a little V there. I think you could have some real fun with embroidery on these things. I like the collar, even though it doesn't have a collar stand. The instructions were easy to follow. The only thing that I will say is that the sleeves, as I say, weren't lined, so I did have to kind of fudge that so that I could still have the sleeve vent in there, which I did by kind of slipping the lining in wrong sides to, so the wrong side was together for the, so the lining went in, wrong sides together, and then let's see, let's undo this if I can. These giant, I love these giant buttons as well. I didn't have denim like jean buttons in my stash, and I didn't want to wait to order them, so I just kind of went ahead with what I had. So I've slipped the lining underneath the kind of plackety bit that they turn back for the vent, and then on the other side I've just top stitched it, like folded it under and top stitched it into place there. But to do that at the top, it did mean that I had to kind of cut into my turquoise fabric. So what I did to get around that raw edge was I did a bar tack at the top of the vent, and in my opinion that's worked really well. I don't think it's an area of weakness. I haven't noticed any problems with it. I've worn this jacket once because it has just been so hot since I made it, so I haven't really tested this jacket out in any kind of meaningful way, but I really like how it looks and I think it's really pretty. Again, this denim was from Empress Mills. It's the slub denim. I had 2.5 meters of both this and the red one that you can still kind of see here, and they were initially intended to be ginger jeans, and I've just come to the realization that my style has moved away from skinny jeans, so the thought of spending time making those skinny jeans does not really appeal anymore. So I decided to use it for other things, and I'm really glad that I did. I have got enough left of both of them, I think, to make waistcoats. I'm kind of hoping I've got enough left of this to make one of these skirts, but I'm not sure that I do. I think that might be reaching. I think that might be beyond, yeah, and I can't get any more of this exact colorway, but I have enough to do one other project with both of these colors of denim, which I'm very excited about because I think they are both absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, that was my first make of July, but also, no, first make of August, but last thing to show you in this lookbook. I'm really happy with all of those things. As I say, there are some slight tweaks that I want to make. The denim jacket, I'm going to go back and trace just the one size and have a kind of like slightly oversized look, because whilst this one goes in, like I said, I can't, because of the length of it, I can't do it up where I want to. Also, I lengthened the sleeves on this one and I really didn't need to, and this is going to be fine. I don't mind this one, but I will go in and take out that length. It's just usually a standard adjustment that I need to make, and I hadn't even considered holding the pattern piece up to me and going, oh, there's going to be a cuff that goes on that as well. So yeah, you know, it was one of those things. But I think other than that, I'm very happy with how everything went together and all the things that I've made this month. So thumbs up, double thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below which one you like the most. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!